Here we go. Hey guys, Jeff here at MACkite.
And Dustin.
And I'm happy to have Dustin here with me. It's been a while since we've done a video together.
Yeah, had a back injury. Geez, that was end of October.
Yeah.
Herniated L5, S1, and just been a long road, but
You're back.
we're back in the seat harness and
right.
in the diaper, and yeah, we're jumping back into the water.
That's
so
right.
nice.
We just got off the water, and we're bringing kite foiling back a little bit. Not that it ever died. You know, winging, obviously, you know, a lot of our customers have gotten into wing foiling that might have kite foiled, and we might not get as many phone calls about kite foils, but we are bringing it back, and we're excited about this kite North has had. I've been excited about it when they first came out with their Code Zero. Now they call it the Code Zero Pro.
Yep.
For 2025, and I believe they came out years ago with a bluer version, looked like this guy, and now they've been white for the last few years, which I think is clean.
I love the white.
Black leading edge.
Yep.
But we just got off the water, and we've been riding them now for a couple weeks since you just got back from your injury. You're kind of easing yourself back into things. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to focus a lot on the tech side of it. I mean, they have redefined the shape of the kite to have it more swept back, and they've added their bridle system to align with that to give it more control and speed and power, which I would agree with that. I think one thing I think of a round of applause. We are stoked on this code. We are stoked on the Code Zero for kite foiling, but it does clap at you. It gives you some, it flutters a bit, doesn't it?
It does have a bit of a flutter.
Yeah.
Yep. Outside of that, it is, I think, hands down the best foil kite I've been on, for sure. And not just saying that, like, it really has, I think it's super pivotal. It's quick, light bar pressure, has a deep canopy, so it just floats down the line. I think it really stands out in the lineup of one-strut kites right now.
Yeah, I think you just nailed what we look for in a kite foil.
Yep.
One that will give you that low end to get you up and riding, but then just floats.
Yep.
Stays there. It's like an extension of what, you know, when you're trying to want it to be where it needs to be or point it up high and kind of drive into it. It's not going to fall out of the sky. You can have confidence when you loop it. It's going to have instant.
It pivots so hard. It's
amazing.
crazy. And you let go of the bar and it just rockets right back up. I love it.
Yeah, it's you know, they've refined a little bit of the leading edge, brought it in a little bit. They call it their, I believe, Max 2 airframe. You know, it cuts up wind with good speed. Again, it does like to, has a little bit of a flatter. They're aware of that. They have spoke to that and that they're trying to refine that. But I would agree that it doesn't affect the performance of it. Today, I think the conditions for us and the wind we were in, you know, the wind was kind of up and down, but my guess was probably anywhere from 13 to 16, maybe at times, 14, 15. I was on a 9, you were on a 9.
Yep.
I could have been on a 7. This thing, I only have the 9 in my quiver, and I've been able to get out and as low as probably around that 10, depending on what foil I use.
Yep.
But you know, it definitely has that confidence in the low end of the wind that you want in a kite foil that feels like it'll stay in the sky with little input and do what you want it to do.
It's got great relaunch too, you know, for those times when it is really light.
Agree.
And you're struggling out there and you're like, why is my kite not going back up? You know, it is a easy relaunch, I think. So
yeah, I've had to relaunch it. I didn't get any video of me having to relaunch it today, but I have had to relaunch it very light conditions. I would have to emphasize something you said about the pivotal turn and the ease of its turning, because you can bring that thing all the way down the water. And today I actually touched the water. I didn't fully walk the dog and roll it over, but it touched. I stayed on foil and brought it right back up.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, we had some swim buoys out there. I was like just barely going over the top. I mean, you can put this thing anywhere you want, and it doesn't feel like it's going to fall out of the sky.
It's crazy. The canopy is so deep, and so you can really just, you know, you can bring it low and then push it out, push the bar out, and it wants to rocket back up. So overall, I'm so impressed with it.
Yeah, you know, it's one that I think we've got 3 demos out now. You, myself, and another, and Skip, who's riding them. So, you know, it is probably one of my favorites. I've been in a few others that we sell as well, but I think the combination of that low end feel and just confidence in the sky, you know, I haven't been kite foiling a lot. I do a little bit this time of year because it gets lighter wind.
Right.
And it gets nicer though, you know,
Yep.
out, and it's just nice to cruise around. We did a little upwind cruise today and back, and
Yeah.
actually rode a few waves with it and just kind of planned it a little bit. And
I saw you out there no hands for like
Yeah.
a good amount of time, just
Yeah.
pumping with it. It'll just park and ride with you.
yeah, which is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So by no means is kite foiling dead, even though winging seems like it's taken over a little
Absolutely.
bit. But you diehards out there, I mean, you know that, you know, the big thing with kite foiling is the kite. That's a big piece of the puzzle, and they've come a long way in the last 3 years from 0 struts to 1 strut.
Yep.
And something I may add to the code that I think distinguishes it maybe a little bit from some of the other 1 strut or 0 struts I've been on. When you do that first power stroke, you can feel the power. Sometimes with the no strut or some of the single struts, you kind of have to let it breathe a little bit, or it chokes off the power.
Yep.
This one just seems to feel very
dive
even
it,
control.
Push out. Yeah. It wants to pull you. Yeah.
So the sizes it comes in, I think the smallest is 3.5, and it goes all the way up to
14 with no 12. No 11, no 12.
I think there's 11, no 12 or 13.
12, 13, that's it. Yep.
But they have quite the range. I don't know. 14 obviously would be depending on your weight and what foil you're on.
Yeah.
But I typically ride with that 9, like I said, in winds from right about 9 up to 12, 13, 14, 15. I've had it up over that fully deep, like this much of deep power on it. Typically when you do that with a kite, you can lose some of its maneuverability and handling, but I found it to be fly very well even with the depowered.
Yeah, I loved it so much. I opened up a 7, and I've been getting that into the low 20s.
Right on.
So, and I'm flying. It's crazy.
In your foil size, you're under 1,000 square centimeters you're riding, or right
Yep.
around that?
Yep.
Under that?
Yep.
Yep.
So, 855.
Yeah,
So
that's about where I'm at too, on the 800.
Yep.
So
I've been going with a bigger board, just lighter winds, having that little bit extra surface area to touch down, just getting back into it.
Yeah.
And
not
then
real big though. You about a 120,
120
centimeter? Yeah.
Yep.
I've been on a 110, but I would agree with you, even though with the code, how well it just stays in the sky. You can try to backstall it, hold it down or whatever. A little bit bigger board in the lighter wind does help with the touchdowns and takeoffs, so you don't submarine it a little bit. But yeah, I think again, it's one I did a review I think on this about 3 years ago. Their first edition of it, I think it was in 2022 or 2023, right around there. They've done subtle refinements. Still, I do like to give it a round of applause. It does have that flutter. I mean,
you're like, good job getting it around.
That's right. Good, nice job, nice job. But just real easy. It's an extension of what you want it to do when you're on the water. And so we got to ride too. I think a little of the B-roll you'll see was of one of our favorite reps, Pat.
Shout out, Pat.
That's right, Pat. Thanks for taking time off your work day to come out and ride with us today. It's always fun to kind of have a little session with our reps and get on and share the Stoke. So, yeah, I think those of you who've maybe gone to the side of winging, used to kite foil a lot, I would think if you're looking for a kite to get you back on the water and you've been off your kite foil for a while, the code makes it real easy to get back in your groove pretty quickly.
Yep. Definitely check it out. Any questions? Carrier pigeon, chat, phone, smoke signal, whatever works. Get a hold of us. We'd love to chat. So, yeah.
Right on. If we get a phone call about a kite foil, that's kind of exciting. We don't get a lot of those. But hopefully we can generate a little excitement about the North Code Pro 0. So there you have it. The kite foil that has 4 names, North Code Pro 0. I ain't no pro, but it makes me feel like a pro when I'm riding it. There you go. Enjoy the Stoke.